Well there, friends, welcome back. I hold shift with Avril. We're going into map number 3 in our final series of the evening. Envy and XSET after a very hotly contested bind. Things a little bit more one-sided, if not because of a couple of crucial rounds there for Envy on the split, which leaves us with a Sen Avril.
And now looking back on it, you mean it was Envy's pick on split anyway. You had mentioned that Envy have typically been a very good team on split. I think the hope that XSET fans had been holding on to were, again, we beat TSM on this map. We could probably do it versus Envy as well. Now we go onto a set, and look, we saw a set a little bit earlier, and Envy did lose that one to Luminosity. However, XSET's a bit of a different team, and now have to ask new questions. A few highlights from the previous map as well. Again, things going very much the way of Envy early on. A 7-1 start in terms of the first 8 rounds. Lose 4 more rounds after to make things, what, a 5-7 finish for XSET, which is reasonably acceptable. Towards these stat lines here as well, Aaron is kind of underperforming. We did look at Aaron towards the end there. I don't know if it's partially because of the Killjoy, if it's because of something else, but consider that Aaron is normally a duelist player. You put him onto a Killjoy. The Killjoy, I think, has pretty low value on this map. 313 performance, 57 ADR. Just wasn't putting out nearly enough damage at all.
And we have to give some props to Weeded. You know, he really did turn things around after what it was like a 1-6, 1-7 start. He finished 20-17, but it means he was eliminated in every single round that we played with the exception of one. So definitely forward in the mix, and a lot of the reason why XSET was able to put themselves on 4 rounds in a row defensively, but never able to get things going on the offense. So now we change the conversation over to the set. Now, we just came off watching Envy on this map, a hotly contested one to be sure, but they only take down 10 rounds against Luminosity. But on the other side for XSET, again, you talk about them banning out Icebox, a map that they've gotten some pretty decent rehearsal on but aren't feeling confident in. Now you're going to a map that largely is just not a good map for you whatsoever. A 1-4 overall record when they were playing in the first strike, and they've only played it once here since we've gotten into the VCT, and it was a 6-13 loss to Immortals here in the close quals.
Part of me thinks maybe Icebox was a wasted ban because Icebox had also been a bit of a perma ban for Envy anyway. So if XSET don't ban away Icebox, I'm pretty sure Envy would have, and that would have given XSET a free ban somewhere else. They could have taken away Ascent if that wasn't going to be a map they really wanted to go to. So that part of does kind of hang in the back of my mind. And Icebox had been a map that both teams have, I wouldn't say struggled on, they just both don't really want to play it, really. That's kind of what I'm getting towards right now. But looking towards this particular map, I'm starting to feel much better about Envy's opportunities here. They did great on the split, but when you look at the problem areas for Envy, where food on the Sage is just not a really good carry position for him to play, considering that this guy is normally on a duelist. Well, guess what? No Sage for Ascent here. It's going to be Phoenix again for food, and Phoenix for food is going to really up his damage, going to really up his opportunity to be a bit more of a carry player, and that's going to make Envy a more dangerous team, and I don't know if XSET are ready for that.
Yeah, it's going to have to be one of those things that, again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but we talked a lot about how XSET, on this little push that they've had to kind of put themselves in the major contenders category, have largely done it off the backside of aggressive plays. So now you're going to be dealing with an Envy squad that will be able to either deny you the ability to do that. But we saw so many times in the Luminosity game for Envy rather, that Food was trying to get aggressive, right? I mean, he was trying to make his way into B main defensively. He was trying to contest a lot of space, and that information could be everything for Envy, especially when they get to the defense. But also beyond that, with the extra ability of flashes coming in for Food now, an opportunity for them to also kind of not just quell defensive pressure, but also maybe cleanly execute. That was one of the things that we kind of had an issue with when it came down to Envy initially. They took 5 rounds on their offense, and there were some woes when it came to how cleanly they were able to get on the site. So we'll see if they will be able to fix those things up here versus XSET.
Envy also really failed to take pistols on this map, I believe, versus LG, when we just saw them a little bit earlier on.
That's very true, yeah.
LG had most of the pistols down lock, so it's going to be an important one, and no surprises here. It's going to be frenzies for pretty much every single player, certainly for all the players on Envy. The players on Envy right now spreading themselves across the map. A lot of pressure onto A, actually. 3 players onto A, droning through into mid. See nothing into mid. They got to know something's up.
Well, the defensive members for Envy were actually so far pushed up into B main that these 2 defensive members are going to have to kind of back down just a little bit, just throw some spam shots out, and while they do, it's actually Weeded who finds first blood. Pure able to find the second just as he starts to close the door into Food's face. So now it's going to be a 5v3 situation. XSET already on the side. They already have a player watching the back flank, but Aaron gets caught with a knife out, so there will be at least one exchange here. An opportunity for that flank to come through, but someone's going to have to find more success on one of these opposite angles. Pure's going to contest close. Finesse going to make point of contact. Not going to win the gunfight, though. So now it's just down to what happens from the front. XSET are triple stacked underneath. They'll take down Mummy, and now it's just down to Caboose for a 1v3. Difficult situation to be sure. Finds the first, probably 1v4. There would be the 1v3 at the end, but we did with one with the triple kill, and that will be the offense for XSET initially.
Yeah, it had to be Finesse getting the last kill onto Pura in that 1v1 over towards A main. Lucky, I mean, Pura was on like low HP anyway, like I sort of said there. And if Finesse just connects a couple of shots, like 1 or 2 shots, would have been enough. Would have had this extra pressure coming through from A main. The two of them could work together in terms of, you know, Caboose and Finesse coming into the retake. That would have been possible, but a 1v4, yeah, a little bit too much to work against. So it's kind of like a similar story to what we saw versus LG now. Just difficulty on the pistol here for this map.
Spam shots, did they? Cloudburst, I thought nearly may have been the kill, but BCJ only confirms a handful of damage. An expensive ultimate orb, but still one that's collected by Envy, and they hold 5 members still. XSET in the middle of the map, though, have an opportunity here in front of them. Little do they know that there was nobody actually trying to contest mid-market for the time. They were just trying to get that ultimate orb so heavily. And as 2 members defensively will try to push through A, they'll meet a trap wire and say that, never mind, we'll just go back to A.
Yeah, excellent play by Thwifer there, putting down the trap wire. If it wasn't for that, I think Envy flank for sure, and Envy want to make stuff happen. They don't actually have guns to play with. So let's see how XSET dismantle this defense on B now. That's assuming they will be able to successfully. Quite a few plays away to get 3 HP on Mummy. He's 1 shot away, and 1 shot's all it needs to happen. There's 1 guy left here as well. Yeah, Finesse will do some damage. He takes a bit of tax down, but Finesse will go down as well. And a 1v4 situation. Plant has been confirmed. A bunch of free frenzies on the floor, and we're not expecting too much from Crashies here.
But likely he will still try to give this a go, because why not? Dark cover will provide him an opportunity to start moving a little bit further forward, but getting spammed down to 74 HP. And XSET should be pretty aware that he's going to be sitting in this dark cover. Yeah, the recon bolt will 100% confirm it. Now they just go to start spamming. Another recon bolt coming out. But at this point, I mean, Crashies hasn't even given enough time to even play for a kill. There's the opportunity, but Pure blocks to the head. And XSET, as expected, will take their second round. So a good start here for XSET overall. It just comes down to, can they continue that here going into what will likely be full weapons for Envy.
A bit of a turnaround from what we saw in Split. This is the kind of start that XSET are looking for. And guns for Envy. Still waiting on some frags. I mean, Mummy, Crashies, and Fu just kind of warming up for this map currently. Aaron, to be fair, hasn't picked up one either. No ultimates to be found just yet. 1 away for Weeded, actually. So he's on 5-0 with a plant. On the side of Envy, if they got anything now, that would have been great, but would require to have had a few more kills. Only 3 kills over the last 2 rounds. Thwifer is eating a bunch of damage early.
Yeah, it's actually a significant amount of damage. He is the only player that's over here by B, and this is what we're talking about, this continual hit that we're seeing from Food, just trying to challenge over through B main. Crashies will also kind of double check as he takes the Aldrum through middle to make sure nobody else was lingering by these doors. Wifo will take a couple of sound challenges through the trap wire, but as we get in, it's actually going to be Pure and Aaron who find a couple of kills. Crashies' last shots will actually find 1 elimination and a shock dart to go right over towards the spike site. XSET is on, BCJ will plant.
Spike planted.
And it will be a 4v3 for XSET.
Actually a decent kill from Crashies. That'll make the retake that much more possible. Unfortunately, though, for Caboose and Mummy, I don't think that did any damage. They just eat a nade, eat a bunch of damage. The swing through from XSET, perfect. They have full flank control as well. This time around, Finesse is not going to try and flank. They got 3 members alive, no time to wait. Still got 1 flash of Food as well.
Blaze wall comes up. Pure underneath. It's going to have some help. Time becoming a problem without a question. Food though finds a couple of kills, maybe an opportunity, but again, you just have to stall the defuse. Dwifo falls, it's just on the lead, and he's being zoned. He's able to find 1 kill, but he's being body blocked. Protect the president. Is there enough time for the defuse? Yes, there is. A literal last-second retake for Envy, but it's clean, it's polished, and it works for their first round overall.
Yeah, still got to wipe a bit of sweat off the brow, though. Oh my goodness, it came down to the wire. If anything killed Food, if anything stopped him, that would have been it. XSET, then they've done decent on that round. I gotta say, got a bunch of kills, got the plant down, got the money in there. 2 ultimates to play with now for the next round as well. Probably won't have to use the Blaze Storm here. And he's still looking over towards Envy. They got the guns. Food would love to get 1 orb to at least be able to pick up the runner back. That would be a pretty important ultimate. As looking for any opportunity for Envy to get something done this round. This is going to be a big one for XSET to come up to 3-1 if they can do that.
Again, opening vying for position through B main there results in a bit of exchange of damage. Again, Blazeball or Hot Hands will be able to get Food back to full HP or just near it. But again, XSET, for as much pressure as they're throwing through B main, they're really not all that interested in bringing the spike that direction. It's still being held by BCJ, and he's just watching mid-map.
Waiting to see if Envy are going to do anything, which they're not going to. They do have Caboose hiding all the way into Wine currently. It looks like it's going to be a mid play. I mean, technically, XSET could go up mid, can go into market, make a bit of noise, come through short again. Aldron looking over to B main. They know it's definitely not B main, so that parts of the map that they don't know right now is short and mid. They know it's not A main either because they have some control there.
Will XSET use this position mid-map to just execute through mid-market, or will they get cold feet again and back away? Actually, it looks like the spike will bail away. Food is still, again, challenging aggressively. If he gets picked here, there's no help whatsoever. Paranoia comes through, and Dwyfo finds the easy kill. So now here comes the rest of the approach through the market. Crashes by himself, can't get behind cover. Another kill for Dwyfo, and the last player that was even able to try to even contest was Mummy, but he has to tailwind backwards, and that'll lead to a BCJ plant on the B site.
Perfect execution. Still time left for the plant there as well. Getting the kill into Crashes through the wall.
Planted.
Courtesy of BCJ and the recon dart. So XSET now 5 alive. Envy with only 3. And I don't even think these are the guys with the rifles. No, it was Food and Crashes that had the guns. And guess what? They're dead. So it's going to be only SMGs for the retake. And Envy, I mean, you're not going to save the SMG. So I assume they're going to have to go for this.
Spy camp still up as well for this post plant. We did timing. He will get across the dark cover, and Envy, are they playing for exit kills here? Sure feels that way. XSET are just gonna full storm their way out. Not enough time for a defuse. Finesse. Can he be able to respond to a couple? There's the first spam through the wall. No chance for him to find anything else, and Caboose will be the last one to survive, and he'll hold on to the weapon. Interesting. I was right there with you, Avril, when it came down to I thought for sure they would at least try to contest it in some space.
I think they ran out of time. I think they realized even if they go for it... I mean, that being said, though, just doing damage is good. They only got 1 kill at the end. That was coming through from Finesse. I think if they were all going to die, just, you know, die with a little bit more, I don't know, of a retake happening where you're trying to force some fights to happen to try and take those guns away. Because even rebuys, I mean, look at this. Aaron having to rebuy, he's on 600 now. And he doesn't even rebuy into a rifle. He rebuys into a Spectre. So any kill coming through from Envy with their SMGs would have been worth it. XSET do now have the 3-1 scoreline. They have a Blaze Storm as well. So actually what I thought should happen this round is Aaron and Pura should actually swap guns so that Pura can just use the ultimate.
Oh, it's the spike!
I mean, Food's going to push right out, and that's going to be a spike on the floor. Speaking of Pura, you're out of the map.
What a massive kill. Run it back spent. The Aldrone scouted some information, and now the spike is on the ground. But Envy have backed away. I mean, it's a very vulnerable spot to put yourself just in that B courtyard, but they're really not able to make too much use of the kill. Can't really collect the weapon, can't guard the spike, but they do still have a 5v4, and Mummy is just going to continue to throw shoulders here and wait for someone to peek him, hopefully through B main, so we can get this Blade Storm online.
Caboose, by the way, for the second round in a row, will be playing Wine. He wasn't spotted there last time, so no reason for XSET to assume anything. That means they can leave players behind and don't have to attend with A that much. It'll just be the 2 players. So everyone else is hanging out in B. If the spike comes through B main, oh, that could be quite bloody. 1v1 potentially over towards market as well. Crashies.
He gets the kill!
Trouble, but it's...
30
Yep,
seconds
Mummy
left.
onto Aaron.
In the Hot Hands will actually zone off any further push through, so the only player to walk away with a kill here for XSET is Dwyfo. That's the backside of the defense. BCJ trying to work his way forward, has a tracking dart he needs to deal with. Their covers will go out. Food has retreated back, and now you've got time as a problem. 12 seconds to go. Both members for XSET defensively are doing all right, but Mummy doesn't lock down the headshot. Had a really easy predictive angle, and Food also drops, and Oh man, for a second you thought Envy were gonna do it. Now it just comes down to Caboose for what needs to be a 1v3, and as he walks forward, he gets double chowed. Oh man, every opportunity was there, but XSET, they collect themselves. They find themselves their 4th round.
And it has to be Envy trying to survive over towards the setup into B main. If they can't get the kills necessary from B main, then XSET were going to get themselves the site. They do that. They get the plant. Envy are running out of members. It was a late plant as Army time was starting to run out, but 4-1 start now for XSET. Money's broken for Envy as well. They got no more ultimates to play through. Mummy no longer has the Blade Storm. And it was a great start. Remember, Food went through very aggressively in B main, got the initial kill on the Pura, found the spike as well. The start was, you know, as great as you could hope for Envy. So it ends up being a bit of a sad finish for them, as Food's thinking about it again. We saw Food do this versus Luminosity. We saw a lot of Envy pushing aggressively through B main. They got to be ready for that, and they are. Look at that.
Okay. 4 players for Envy. Aggressive challenge. Pure can't fully capitalize on the kill. Does force out some more utility and confirms a lot of damage. So XSET will split just a touch here. At least initially, you thought maybe that was going to be the case. Now they're going to get together and likely just confirm on the damage they've already found onto Envy here. So looks to be the case. It's going to be down to Mummy. Can he find a way to respond to this hit? And, well, it's still not fully coming through as of yet. Now, finally, they go. Amron has made his way over to Logs, knows there's a player nearby, goes into the dark cover and finds the kill, and now XSET, easy cleanup onto Crashies. It's going to be a 5v2 post-plant situation.
It'll be a 5-1 in the scoreline here as well. There's really no chance for Envy here. They would have to pick up guns. They don't have a single kill. Like we've seen Envy do well in some of these situations. Finesse can definitely clutch up, but he needs a weapon to work with, and a long-range frenzy is not the answer. Leading with a very simple shot into the head for a flawless round here. XSET get to walk away with all their guns, a couple of free pistol upgrades as well. Working towards their next round of ultimates. 3 out of 5 members have ultimates. Aaron's 3 away from getting the showstopper as well. And a bunch of money. Look, 4 members here for XSET are above 7k.
Yeah. I mean, it's just King Midas's gold at this point kind of being shared between all XSET members. So for Envy, it's just one of those things that there have been a handful of really close and tight rounds, but overall, outside of that round 3 heroic, and this has largely been all XSET all the way through. From the shadows will be confirmed, and it's going to be stuck. Whedon's going to get top high ground control here. Envy is now stuck down low on the site itself. 2 kills for Whedon,
wow.
And we're going to get a response Hunter's Fury, but it's desperate. And it's unsuccessful, so XSET cleanly take once more in.
They're going to save.
Envy have to save, exactly.
They're out of here. I mean, Whedon, what kind of heroics are we seeing here?
Wow.
He TPs onto site, straight on top of rafters into heaven, using From the Shadows, gets a paranoia down, lands a couple of headshots, dodges the Hunter's Fury. He's doing it all that round. He's got everything in control, and yep, XSET are going to hunt because they got the money to do so. Should be contact made into spawn here. Long range shots confirm that's a headshot. Eventually will get the kill. And Pura makes sure that neither Mummies nor Crashies will be able to hold onto a gun. And yes, Mummy hadn't operated that round. Yes, Mummy did miss the operator shot to Pura right towards the end there in spawn. And that's going to come down to a broken economy for Envy again. This is really, really bad for Envy now. It's going to be 7-1. And we talked about the 7-1 scoreline on Split, but that was Envy on the 7 side of that 1. And now Envy's on the 1 side of that 1-7.
It's so true. And talk about the threat here, potentially. We talked about when we were watching Envy and Luminosity. Again, they went 5-5 on both halves, only getting 10 confirmed rounds. They might not even be able to get 5 defensively here. Which, not to say is their stronger half, but historically it has been. So, man, that's tough. If you're an Envy fan right now, you're kind of quivering just a touch. You need to find a way to get things back. Yeah, I mean, well,
wish you were
not envious. I mean, yeah, well, there he goes to say. Envious of days previous, not days current.
Envious of the other team's scoreline right now. Don't want to call it early. Certainly, there's only been 7 rounds. It will be
sure.
8 rounds done. It will be a 7-1 scoreline. There's just no way. Envy can't win a round, surely, with like 3 frenzies and whatnot. They would have to get some 6 shots, and Crashies would have to really nail some sheriff shots in there. They are getting closer. They could surround XSET. Not being caught by a ton of util here. Well, there's the first start.
What an isolation that is for Envy. The dark cover, the paranoia, but it's not going to make a difference. The re-attack comes through. XSET finds the next 4 kills cleanly. And now it's just up to Crashies. He's found a Vandal to play with, and again, there's really not a reason that he shouldn't at least play for some exit kills, or not potentially just to go for it. Gets a headshot lineup. That'll do well to find Pure. So now there's actually realistically a pretty solid option for him, and that'll slow things down just a touch.
Looks like he'll go for exits here. We've seen Crashies win like 1v3s before, but those were situations where he was already in the right position. He had some sort of intelligence advantage over the opponents as well in terms of they don't know where he is. He probably knows where they are. This time it's the complete opposite. The camera spots him. He's running out of time. Unlikely for him to win the round. Basically going to go for his exits. He might contact 2 and spawn. Yeah, here it is.
He hears the footsteps, surely.
Oh!
What?
Oh, no. That's embarrassing.
So
that
unlucky.
is embarrassing. Oh, dear. Dude, he was about to maybe get a double kill and spawn to at least take away some guns, but he dies to the spike explosion. Like, how? What was that? That's hilarious, dude.
No way. I mean, I was getting ready to call the 1v2, and next thing you know, he just falls over dead.
Wow. That's a moment right there. That's one for
Sure
the
is.
ages. 7-1 we find.
Caboose will be milked out of both of his dark covers early as he got paranoid, trying to take an aggressive change. XSET will not really be interested in taking the angle, though, so in this full gun round, again, must-win round here for Envy without question. Not just to try to salvage the half, but maybe even the entire map at this point.
So, by the way, the one round Crashies decides to go over towards A. That's when Thwyfo starts B, puts the trap wire down. Every other round, Crashies has been putting a shock dart into where that trap wire location is to destroy it. Now it's going to come down to Mummy. There you go. That's one way to get rid of a trap wire. Just kill the guy who put it down. So, Mummy finding value on the operator. 5v4 Envy finally off to a decent lead.
Yep. First blood that we can really talk about for Envy for some time. Crashies, I think, is recognizing that there's going to be a threat coming through tree. Gives away the glass angle, and then, oh, the showstopper for A-Raid as he comes back over to A-Main. Only able to find one. Crashies barely able to get alive, just with 2 HP. XSET is on the site, though. And Pure, he should have seen the contestant of FNS, but decides to stick for the Cloudburst first. 3v4 situation. XSET does have the post plant. The defense is going to try to get the long flank from Food to try to make this play, but they're going to try to challenge through. Pure's able to find 1 kill. FNS, he's trying to lock things down by spamming through the walls, but it's going to be a 2 for 2. Pure for 3 on the spike. It's being diffused. Halfway done. Mummy able to find the kill as soon as the Cloudburn dissipates, and that'll be enough for the full kill.
That was great coming through from Mummy, but nearly not enough there. 10 shots remaining for Pura in a 1v1. The fact that XSET bring that from a 2 to 4, 2v4, down to just a 1v1 makes it super possible for Pura to win, but you have Mummy with the initiative. Smoke's coming down. Seen Mummy in that situation before. I think on Split even, that was a very similar one where it was a 1v1, but Pura just had... I mean, it was actually Mummy that had a lot of smokes down. I think we did try to challenge for the... No, it was... who was it? BCJ trying to challenge for the 1v1 back then, but... Now into recent moments, into modern day, that will at least get Envy back one more round. They have 4 out of 5 ultimates. Operator's still alive. Mummy did get the opening kill on the previous. Looking for info, looking for potential in mid. Let's get pushed off the line early, though.
Also seeing Envy try to scout things out through A-long with the L-drone. Not going to read too much information. You've got an aggressive defensive setup here as far as the Cypher is concerned. Both trap wires playing very close to that B main door. And then Crashies going to take a long-distance recon bolt to make sure that the mid is safe, and he will confirm, yes, it is. Run it back will be channeled, and View looking to get aggressive with this, coming right through the middle, and it gets shut down immediately. So Ultimate finds essentially nothing.
Doesn't see a lot either, so in terms of information, it's not too much to work through, which is usually what you want to get out of the Ultimate. I mean, now, good opportunity to find a pick here. He has to run away, so this Boombot actually finding massive value and pushing Mummy off the line again. Mummy just can't catch a break in terms of finding someone to walk into his operator's crosshairs. He'll now be looking to snipe down the lane from the shadows, has been committed as well. Caboose sticks it through, so 3 defenders here in time.
Timing is going to be really interesting right now because XSET are going to try to rotate back maybe through the middle of the map, but there are 2 members for Envy that are actually here. Food being one of them. Timing is not going to be favorable here for XSET. Envy able to clean up 4 straight kills, and the 5th. Crashies getting 3 of them. So just as much during split, we wanted to sit there and say that XSET down 7-1 needed to win the last 4 rounds in a row. Same storyline here for Envy, and they might fulfill it as well.
That's incredible. I mean, you see Food pushing up all the way into spawn. Crashes has control over, you know, Catwalk as well, or at least the exit of Catwalk. Mummy gets a kill on the exit as Exit try and leave B. And the From the Shadows being committed by Caboose just to make sure, look, if Exit were going to actually commit to B, there was going to be 3 defenders waiting there, including Mummy, who's holding the line onto lane. If they don't commit to that one, Exit are going to run out of time. They're going to be struggling to get over towards A, and they're going to get killed on the way. So Envy really in a win-win situation. Crash is now trying to get the opening kill, gets a couple of tags, and there it is onto Weeded.
Yeah, the paranoia being sent out initially, so that way Crashies was allowed to get the Hunter's Fury down with anyone really not really seeing where the Hunter Fury is going to come from. He confirms the kill plus damage. This Aldro is going to find so much information, but Caboose needs to be tested here. He's good for 1, not a second. Still contested nearby defensively, though, but Avery actually getting a little bit of a wall bang, but no one expects Crashies to also be there. The triple stack for Envy pays off. 3 for 4 exchange. Crashies, 7 straight kills for him.
Standing ahead.
Yep.
Unreal.
No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind that Crashies is probably the best player on this team right now. Every single time I see this guy on this team perform, I mean, it's incredible. He's winning these moments. You see him in the clutch as well. Go back to bind. Go back to split. It's insane. So Envy right now making this comeback happen. One more round, and we said, look, 5 to 7 would kind of be required. This is almost a complete mirror of what split was, except the other way around. The complete reverse, where it was Exit that was up 7 to 1. Well, sorry, it was Envy that was up 7 to 1. Now it's Exit up 7 to 1 in the first 8 rounds, and in the last 4 rounds and a half, the comeback starts to happen.
Food finds first blood. An XSET looking to go quickly. Will immediately be stuffed. You see that where that red X is? It's right in A archway, and even beyond that, Wifo's been hit pretty hard. He's actually got to toss the spike cover just in case he falls. Crashies will confirm the information. There will be an ultimate orb that gets collected, but that's really all XSET walk away with. I mean, you lose 1 plus half a life of another. Not a great start here for XSET with 60 seconds to play.
Caboose lining up a potential shot. Mummy nearly had one there as well. Spike is fairly far away. They need to start thinking about where the movements are going to come from. Qualifier has a bit of an entry that he can make over towards A main. Tree has been opened up also, so yeah, Caboose got pushed away.
Trying to contest in. Crashies, good for 1, but eventually his streak does get shut down. Food and Caboose, though, pick up where he left off, and Envy with the fire. They're able to find 4 rounds straight, so we've got ourselves a 5-7 after the half. Do not go anywhere. We need to complete this 3rd map. We'll send things to our halftime break and come to our conclusion right after this. Well, Avril, we have just been continually treated to really tight games when we get to the halftime. 6 6s and 5 7s all the way through all the maps we've had so far today. And this one, obviously, looking like it has the legs to potentially go the distance. XSET will now transition over to the defense, and it's going to be on Envy to see if they can put together, again, a little bit of a cleaner offense. We kind of discredited them maybe at times for being a little bit sloppy on their executes or their holds on the post-plant situation.
2 opening shock darts are going to connect for a decent amount of damage. Remember, Envy have struggled with pistols on this map. Let's see if they can change the tune of that. For now, they are getting a decent amount of kills, but losing a lot as well. BCJ picks up a couple. Now Envy down to 2.
Crashies again. Good utility coming through, but the problem is XSET have completely flipped around, so now it's just down to Crashies. 37 HP remaining for this 1v3 situation. He would have to be clean here. Spycam will pick him out. Will immediately take the challenge, and that'll be XSET once again winning pistols. It's one of the things that we noted when LG was playing up against Envy. Luminosity won almost every single pistol we could really recollect.
Yeah, it's more, I think it's just coming down to Envy struggling on pistols here, and a lot of Luminosity. Remember, that was a close score. It was at 13-10 again. So Envy definitely put up rounds. It's just the case that if you lose the pistol, you lose the anti-eco. That's like 4 rounds straight away that are gone. And when the score lines are close enough to be like 10-13, 4-round difference there is massive. So really for Envy, it's not feeling good. Envy are not going to force either here. It's going to respect the fact that XSET will have the better guns for now.
Jeez, the utility that's coming out of all of our, well, not just our Sovas, but we've also talked largely on what our Sentinels have been able to do, specifically Cyphers. Caboose, Mummy, find the first 2 kills. It's a hell of an exchange. Pure's able to find 1 and a second. Needs to respond to more, though, and he lines them up! 3 and 4. Last player right in front of him, but does he recognize it? It's going to be just down to 1. It's Finesse who's playing below him. And it looks like Finesse will actually try to challenge this. He's going to run into the better part of all 3 players. Will not allow the ace to come over. He'll find the final kill.
And that's actually going to give Pure a very nice quick charge towards the Blaze Storm as well. Should be at least 4 out of 6 now, if not 5. There it is. Would have been 5 out of 6. 17 kills overall. XSET were expected to get the anti-eco though. So for Finesse to even pick up a gun and make an attempt happen, decent. Envy now. Looking towards the 5 rifles. 3 plays buying down to 0. No alt timings for them just yet. 2 away from running back for food. So we need to at least prioritize 1 orb and then be able to get a kill somewhere. XSET have a bucky on BCJ, so where's BCJ gonna play with that?
The answer for now is it's gonna hold right on top of the tree. Aldrone will see at least 1 player contesting the mid doors. Caboose nearby will keep his position concealed for now. And it looks like Envy will just continue to kind of search for information and see what they can get out of XSET before they try to commit.
Seeing if XSET want to get aggressive there as well. You can see some defensive plays. The smoke coming on through. That is actually the defensive smoke. So XSET put that smoke down themselves. But yeah, the camera set up, the trap wires there as well. I mean, it's quite defensive. Getting out from Finesse. Just waiting for XSET to make plays happen, and we're looking at BCJ also holding with the bucket into tree. Anyone walking in there likely to go down. Sees the smoke coming on through, is anticipating now the potential for someone to walk over onto a short, but it's actually going to be Caboose into market and realizes he has a lot of control here.
But the spike still needs to make its way over. It's taking the long rotation back through the offensive spawn. Thwyfo, tough timing right there. Caboose able to find the first kill. Left. Now it's going to be Envy trying to push forward. Again, the spike is still not a part of this hit as of yet. So defensively, XSET, if they can just hold their ground, they can still potentially contest. 1 for 1 we go. Aaron coming through the cyber cage, not going to find anything. And now the spike has made its way on, and it's just down to 1. BCJ V4, and he's only got a bucky. So right this round off, Envy should be on 6.
Give him that kill over the Crashes as well. Bucky, probably not the best retake weapon. Again, just hoping someone walks into his line of sight. Doesn't happen that round. You can credit Caboose for making his way over towards market. Caboose thought about tree for a while, by the way. He was thinking about A short, thinks better of it, goes towards market. Seems pretty free. Opens up the door, gets a free kill to Thwyfo, who is about to pop his cage. Gets traded out, but allows Envy to make their way into sight anyway, and at least trying to catch up here. 6 and 9. They win the required gun round for number 3, but this is the one that they have to really try and win. If they can win this one against XSET, it'll put XSET back onto an eco, and that's when Envy can really make a comeback.
Oh, BCJ holds down the trigger. Rewarded with one. Running back is still going to be forced forward. BCJ is going to get a little bit of help from the corner. It's going to be weeded. Shock Dart also coming into play, but they still lose the Omen player. BCJ's last Shock Dart comes out. He can reposition, but he's on an island. He's paranoid, and here come the rest of Envy. Reload will not get off in time. Had to feel like an absolute calendar year between starting that reload and finishing it. So it's a 3v3 situation. Retake coming quickly. Aaron actually does connect to the head of money, which makes us more plausible. Pure able to find the kill. Twyfo from behind, and Pure finds the final. XSET get on the retake. They get on to 10 as well.
And despite how long it took to reload, I mean, the damage was good enough. The prevention of the fast take coming on through from Envy, just the slowdown there. I mean, you see the opening kill onto, who was it? I can't even remember now, but like the Odin spray from BCJ just opening up. It might have been onto Food or somebody, but Envy just could not get into sight quickly enough. XSET have enough time bought for the rest of the players to come on in for the retake, and 10-6 now, 3 away from heading into the top 4, punching the ticket through. And for Envy as well, they're trailing by enough that it is a bit of a worry. They have 3 ultimates available, including the Blazestorm, which is going to be used this round. So everyone else is going to have a rifle, just enough money to go around, and then the Blazestorm to round out the 5th.
Nowhere to run!
Early from the shadows going to come through. Caboose is going to see some information up top, which is what Crashies is trying to use to confirm a kill with the Hunter's Fury. Not going to be there, and Aaron responds that the 2 members of Envy try to push over the tree. Pure finds not just one, but a second. Envy playing so loose right now, and it gets completely punished. Essentially 2 separate 1v2s, and now Crashies is literally caught in a corner.
XSET probably don't know where Crashies is for now, so there's the opportunity that if Crashies just wants to sit here for the rest of the map, he could get 1 kill. That would at least take 1 gun away in a situation where, to be fair, XSET don't... They're still trying to build their bank, is what I'm trying to say here, but Crashies will think about the timing. He'll think about moving through. He's got 50 seconds to play with, and no real chance to win here, just looking for damage.
Deploying drone.
Well, he actually keeps his shoulder pretty revealed while getting into the Aldrone, so he's tagged down to 63 HP.
Standing ahead.
And he just keeps getting pushed around, is the problem. Here comes a challenge from Pure. Okay, so there's 1 kill. I mean, there's not going to be an opportunity for him to get this spike planted, really, or win the round, but any kill is good, like you mentioned.
Pure, by the way, who had the least amount of money on the team, actually gets 2. That's acceptable. Doesn't get a plant. I mean, you won't say it's been a successful, you know, eco, or they weren't even eco. They were actually buying to that round. So, yeah, it's just not a successful round there overall. But Pure was only on 600. He had the lowest amount of money. So, in terms of, you know, who was going to get damaged the most, Pure was 100% that guy. Crash is getting a couple of kills, consolation prize. You know, you didn't get the massive teddy bear on the wall, but you get like a little fridge magnet at the carnival. That's what you get.
Okay.
I don't go to carnivals. Is what
I was about to say, what carnivals are you going to that they're giving out fridge magnets?
Well, they're more useful than giant teddy bears.
I suppose. You can be my giant teddy bear, Avril. How about that? And you're very useful, so. We're on one right now. Caboose trying to move forward. Pure is in a corner, but he's going to have a little bit of help. It's Twyfo who's right next door. And they're just continuing to throw shoulders, and, well, that's good for an exchange. Food, curveball. Will not find initially the second kill, but Crashies follows up. So we go 2 for 2, 3v3 situation. Spike has made its way onto A, and defensively XSET going to have to rotate in for likely a retake.
Yeah, the plant's already in. Crashes for another kill to Aaron. So that's actually the showstopper gone. So a big ultimate that XSET could have relied on for this particular round has been taken away. Finesse on the big flank. I said the big flank is just over and just short, but it's enough that if you're XSET right now, you can't safely cross in the tree and go through door. You might just have to play through from heaven. Odin is great for spamming down the floorboards. That being said, though, Envy aren't exactly playing super deep into hell. I mean, a couple players are going to be diving in a little bit deeper now. It looks like XSET are getting cold feet. I don't know that XSET are going to really try for this time. Is seriously starting to run out now.
Well, they're trying to still spam through this. Weeded's hoping someone's going to peek, but they're just not predicting correctly. And it looks like with the time fading away, they're just going to try to lock down a couple of exit kills and then likely just back out. Weeded might actually stick for this and try to really punish the economy of Envy, but he won't get anything extra. He does force both players still to fall. So again, kind of from the opposite side this time, even though XSET don't get the round, they still punish in a major way, because look at that economy for Envy. Definitely not healthy.
It's gone. I mean, even two players surviving there, both Food and Crashes get away with their guns. It's a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now you're in a situation where Food and Crashes rebuy. They're down to 0. They're not going to have full armor. If you're looking at Crashes, probably don't have full equipment value either in terms of, you know, utility here. I wouldn't be surprised if they're missing bits and pieces. Food especially, he probably doesn't have his full kit. Not that Phoenix needs the full kit, but the extra healing would be nice. Running back is going to be available. Thrive Post 1 away from confirming Neural Theft as well. This time, no early kill from BCJ through the wall via the Odin. That one flash for Food.
Yeah. What to say, it's going to be Envy needing to find some ground here mid-map. And there's no trap wire here, so they've freely walked forward. The rotation will be here. Aaron will see a lot. He does have a showstopper. Running back comes out for Envy. Paranoia is going to be placed. That should be able to deal with the first instance of the Phoenix, no problem. And now the showstopper coming through. Blast pack for Aaron. Oh my goodness, no, not going to happen. Mummy tries to dance away, and actually he dashes into Food's hot hands. So the kill comes through regardless. Pure only good for 1 to the middle of the map. Gives us a 4v3 still favoring the defense, and Crashies, yeah, he's got the spike, but Envy's attempt to get onto B has been completely thwarted.
On the Shadows, be looking over across the other side of the map as well. It's been committed, okay? They're going to split 2 into. This actually gives Envy an opportunity now. Crashies gets a free kill. Still a player nearby, though. Aaron is hiding over towards Logs, unspotted on 35 HP, roughly about a shot away. Oh, could see a player. Will find Finesse, but will should be cleaned up now there. His Food will take him down, and that's going to be a free sight. Caboose, or rather Weed, is going to be a little bit upset about the fact that he used his ultimate to go back to A and ends up being the wrong read here. Now full-on 2v2. I don't think Food can heal, so that damage on... No, I lie. Food did heal, so he's on full as well.
Massive 2v2 right here, though, when it comes to the overall macro of the game. Envy, you win this one, your economy is saved, kind of. XSET, you win this one, you've got Envy in a corner, and you're on match point. So you're looking at this from Food in the corner. Crashy's right next to him. Picture-in-picture will show Weeded, just waiting for information to come through. XSET playing this very slowly. Recon Bolt has been charged. Hunter's Fury still available, but you don't see a world where he brings it out here. They know where one player is. Food finds the kill on the opposite cross. Last player to jump on in was Dwifo, and Food finds 4. A big 2v2 that Envy take cleanly. And now we've got 8-11, and Envy are starting to slowly dig themselves out of this financial hole.
I mean, look at the scoreline here as well. Compare this performance from Food versus what he was doing on Sage. This is what I'm talking about. And the last 2 maps where Food has had to play Sage, it's been looking dire. He goes on the Phoenix, totally different story. 4 kills in the previous round. I mean, the only, like, nitpick I'll do there, the only small detail there is, like, if he was planning to use the runner back, he probably shouldn't have bought armor because he ends up just wasting the armor anyway. But just on, like, what, 1 flash?
Yeah.
No Blaze Wall, a Hot Hands. Did Mummy die to that hot hands, or was that a different round?
Yeah, he died to the hot hands, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there you go. You have a situation where, you know, your hot hands gets a team kill, and still Food will clean things up with 4 kills, 1 flash, and the runner back just even being played as well.
So still not comfortable is Envy with what they have weaponry-wise, but at least they're still able to kind of fight back. Hunter's Fury still available, as well as the Neural Theft, just to keep that in the back pocket. XSET on the other side, you don't see a world where the Bladestorm will come out to play, but Neural Theft very well could put them on 12, pending they find some opportunity to run it. And how about this? Envy stacked mid-map on Catwalk. Looking like they want to make a call to get into the tree, but no action as of yet.
Paint Shell should be exchanged with Cage here. Could be a lot of damage as well. Yeah, forces everyone back. And in terms of slowing down the push, I mean, that's done that. The Cage has been completely wasted. The second one has to come down, and oh my goodness, the shot.
Beautiful shot from Food. They get that kill and then immediately rotate. BCJ just by himself with an Odin. The members rotating over will be dark covered, so they can't actually see the cross. BCJ, he's going to have to try to hold on for as long as possible. Keaton does well to find 1 kill. They're just spamming his staircase, knowing that they're going to have to funnel Envy over towards the outside alley. There goes the exchange. BCJ holding on the trigger with Food. Another beautiful headshot. Crashes, immediately gets the spike planted afterwards. And now it's just down to the retake. 3v4 situation in favor of Envy's post plant. No information gathering tools at the moment for the side of XSET. And Envy walk away with 2 kills, just down to Weeded. 1v3 tagged up a bit through the boathouse. How do you break through this? The answer is you
You
don't.
don't.
Envy coming back into this one just down 2.
$200 in the bank there as well. Oh, that is a rough one. The side of XSET, they just got no money now. This is going to be a half buy. Yeah, you can see the stingers coming through. Bucky for BCJ again. Food hitting some disgusting shots. By the way, 2 rounds ago, he just used the runner back. Last round, he earned the runner back again. He didn't have to use it last round, but he got it back within another round. He's absolutely farming ultimates right now. Farming XSET. 17-13 again. He was missing. He was completely MIA on the last 2 maps on Sage, and now suddenly on Phoenix, the guy's here to play.
You talked largely about it through our first 2 maps, Avril. Food sometimes on these more passive roles just feels like he's a non-factor in the kill department specifically. Sure, his utility is appreciated by his squad, but it's kind of a battle of 6 of one or half a dozen of another, because whenever he's playing on a Phoenix, he seems to just completely pop. So Envy in this game without question, a round that they should be able to take here, but they want to make sure they do it cleanly. Even though they are in a full purchase mode, their economy is still starting to get its legs underneath them. It's out of the red and into the black right now, it kind of feels like, just barely for Envy.
Just as a reminder, when Envy on Split had that 7-1 start, they still won it on the second half. They still actually confirmed that map, and at the moment, XSET, despite being 2 rounds away, it's just feeling like another round that's just going to go the way. Envy should be 10-11 pretty soon. Thwyfer looking for something with the Bucky, gets tagged up by the tracking dart, has to fall off the angle, and now, I mean, this is going to be too hard to use the Bucky. And speaking of, you know, using the Bucky, good luck with that, because now Envy have made their way over towards A.
Pier has to have something huge here. He sneak underneath the trap bar, tries to, and is able to find FNS. Nice isolated kill there. Saw Food for a second. Meanwhile, off-screen, Crashes finds one, and then the curveball play perfect for Food. Shuts down the threat of Pure. So now it's a 2v4 situation for XSET. And at this point, do you just play for exits and try to salvage weapons if at all possible? There is one that's outside the catwalk. Abram's going to give this a go. Gets caught.
Why the paint shells?
I don't know. Doesn't even throw a shoulder first. So now BCJ has a Vandal to free Vandal, so he'll try to play with it. He finds 1 kill. Looking to see if he can trap these last couple of players underneath. Gonna stick for maybe half a defuse here. And as he does, Mummy will come through, find the kill, and Envy should be able to get out on time before this spike detonates, and yeah, that will be the case. So 10-11 the tally. But a big round coming up here as XSET will be able to purchase.
An important round. If XSET don't win this one, they're back into another, you know, force. It'll be Envy going to 11. We're looking at, you know, XSET would have to force an OT at that stage. Not necessarily. XSET could still win, you know, 2 more rounds, just confirm, and Envy would be stuck on 11. It'd be 11-13. But look at the comeback here. It's another rough start for Envy. It was a 1-7 start, now a 1-4 start. And since then, it's been 4 rounds in a row. Food has just come alive completely in the last few rounds. The runner back obviously still waiting in the line. Foods could be used this particular round. There it is. Doesn't get a lot of info off it, though.
Hunter's Fury will tag 1 player. BCJ's good for 1, not going to get the second. Mummy and FNS able to get into the mix to find 2. So it's a 4v3 situation. Spike making its way on. Mummy making sure that nobody rotates outside through tree. Spike planted. Mummy still holding the corner. XSET's defense is going to wait, it looks like, for Thwyfo to get here.
Aldron's coming through as well, spotting a couple. Food actually fails to get the kill to Aaron, who was blinded. That is a major mess up coming through from the Envy side of things. Could have been a free kill. Thwyfo, we were waiting for the rotation. It comes in, and it pays dividends. Still a 2v2 situation. Envy still around. 1v2 now. It's going to have to come down to Mummy. He's won these before. Doesn't have any Cloudburst. Has to place him. Is going to just right-click. Okay, sends it straight through. Spamming onto the spike. Can't confirm the damage, and it will be weeded. It will be XSET heading over to match point.
Oh my goodness. How tight has this game been? 12-10 to tally right here. Envy will be able to full purchase. XSET is actually going to have to make some decisions, because even with the successful retake, look at their economy. You've got Pure completely zeroed out, and granted, he doesn't necessarily need his utility, but Aaron, just to afford his kit, has to go into a Spectre with full armor. This is still very doable for Envy to get on to 11. Now, granted that they are also not fully healthy, especially Caboose really is the only one, as he's not able to get the full armor, but no ultimates here. This is going to come down to utility and gunplay, simply put. Just vanilla Valorant coming at you right here with no extra added bonuses of the ultimates coming into play.
That being said, though, 3 players on Exit are only 1 tick away from confirming their ults, so 6 out of 7 for Weeded, BCJ, and Aaron. Showstopper could be pretty decent. Aldron going over into Tree. No early information yet coming through from the defense. And the camera might eventually see somebody mark it as completely free and open. It's going to go B for sure. And it's going to come down to Thwyfo and Weeded.
Oh, we did. He's got a paranoia ready. He's going to use this one out. He's going to be able to confirm some information, but Thwyfo can't find the eliminations. Now, all of a sudden, here comes the rest of Envy as they push forward. Good curveball. Food finds one. Thwyfo able to exchange his life. Not bad, but you would have loved to have gone kill for kill throughout all of that. So Mummy will get the plant off. Aaron, though, is close by to try to contest this with BCJ.
Crashy's lurking.
The one thing, I was going to say, the one thing they're missing is crashes on the long flank. Showstopper comes out, Aaron finds another, but BCJ, as he deals with the flank, is tagged up heavily. It's just down to Mummy. 1v2 gets caught, Pure! Finds the kill, Hunter's Fury was there just in case, and that will be XSET taking this series. They eliminate Envy in 2-1 fashion here, 13-10.
Defenders win.
And another 13-10 result that is going to be upsetting for Envy, I'm sure. They lost 13-10. Versus Luminosity in the upper bracket. Couldn't win a single pistol on Ascent, and the same thing happens again. XSET moves on. A couple of big dogs from the tournament being eliminated early. Envy, their hopes for VCT, at least in the first closed qualifier, I mean, that's dashed. It's going to be XSET moving on. Luminosity in the upper bracket versus Immortals. Sentinels are still playing up against Gen G. One of those 2 teams is going to go home today as well, but it's about the up-and-coming teams, Alan. This is what I'm talking about here. XSET, Luminosity, they're moving up. Ambox, fortunately, knocked out yesterday, can only look upon these other 2 teams in kind of envious fashion as well, where they're thinking that could have been us also. They're going to have to just share on their buddies at this point because, you know, it's the up-and-comers. Once again, it's these other teams that once upon a time, you called them Tier 2. XSET and Luminosity have been teetering on breaking through for a while. I think Luminosity at this stage have definitely broken through and XSET are next.
For sure. Major contenders without question. I mean, this is a grueling qualification process. The good news is that there are multiple opportunities still to come, but at least as far as what is next for a team like XSET, yeah, you're top 4, but you're trying to get to that grand final, secure yourself a spot in Masters. Otherwise, you'll at least get the pass, making sure you don't have to go to that open qualifier again, which, let's be honest, it might be good news because they did their work, right? I mean, they got through a team like TSM just to get to this point, and now they find themselves in a position to potentially be fighting for a Masters spot, but still a long way for them to go. So, as we get through, again, we're still waiting on the results of what might happen on that bottom side bracket between Gen G and Sentinels, but tomorrow is going to be an absolutely insane day. That's where people either qualify for Masters or will have to see themselves be existing into the second set of qualifiers. And here is exactly where we're at. Again, looking at XSET, they do fall in a very, very tight 3-map series versus Immortals, who I know you're really hot on right now, Avril. That game saw overtime all over the place. And then for the other side of things, Envy, after dropping to Luminosity, they're in the bottom side of the middle of the bracket. They find themselves in the lower bracket. So Immortals and Luminosity are going to be pitted up against one another tomorrow in that winner's final matchup. And then as we take a look at what's happening so far in the lower bracket with where all of our eliminations have happened so far, you've already talked about the fact that teams like Anbox are out, so are NRG. That's who XSET beat earlier. And now taking down Envy puts them in a really good spot, again, not just to cement an opportunity for Masters, but like you mentioned, definitely a breakthrough performance when it comes to, we know they're hot, we know they've got potential, but now they've taken down a handful of major opponents in the process.
Absolutely. You look at teams like XSET right now where you almost have to stop sleeping on this team as well because they beat TSM, they beat Envy, they've taken down heavy hitters. I know Sentinels are currently still playing their match versus Gen G. It's going to be XSET playing the winner of that one. If it comes down to Sentinels, versus XSET, and XSET can also beat Sentinels, then boom, they're right in the Luminosity club as well. They just joined the fray in terms of these new teams. I say new, when I just say new, I'm talking about more like teams that were out of the top 8 previously, now joining the kind of top 8. And just for clarification's sake as well, technically teams don't qualify into Masters from this particular event. You qualify into Challengers 2. Meaning the second close qualifiers for challenges, and then the top 4 from that then go into Masters. So playing for a much better position in the second qualifiers. Also, don't forget there's a 50k prize pool, so the money's on the line here as well, folks. That's definitely going to be something on the minds of most of these players, and it's going to be teams like XSET and Luminosity cashing out currently.
Well, an intense day, but it gets a finish with a bit of sweetness at the end. The Mike and Ike sweet play of the day. It's actually going to go to Proto for this 1v2 that he was able to pull off on Bind. I mean, we had a lot of contestants, right? I mean, there were a lot of really special moments that we saw, but for Proto right here, a big moment in the game. He's able to lock down a 1v2 last shot in the clip. And again, this is the one that you were saying that absolutely should have been literally one bullet, literally a single shot as he cleans things up. So not only was it a 1v multiple situation down to the wire with the clock, but he gets the last headshot with a single bullet. Unreal.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the plays that people go back to for some time. This is going to be one of those clips that is going to stand the test of time. And it's even more incredible because I didn't realize it was one bullet. I up until this time, I actually didn't know it was one bullet. That's even more impressive. Now, my mind's been blown again. I think at that point, you know, we even said, like, this is the play of the day. We found it. You don't forget about any other play that could happen. This is the play of the day. It can't be any other play. It has to be this one. So, well done to Proto. Well done to Luminosity. Well done to XSET.
Insane stuff. But before we say farewell and send you guys over to see what's happening with Nurture Gamers 2 at that final matchup, again, if you've had a hard time hearing what's going on, it's really only on you because HyperX is here to help. And they're not only here to help because they're making quality products, they're extremely comfortable. And I would say beyond that, this isn't a pitch point on our copy. These things are durable. I mean, completely durable. So every day, billions of people will wake up, eat, and fire up a game as part of their daily routine. So why would you not put on a pair of HyperX Clouds? They're all gamers. That's their motto. We're all gamers here, and you could be one of those ones locking down. I mean, look how good that was. Little red trim on the threading up top, but wireless headset. I'm telling you, that's my next purchase, like, without question. I've never really dabbled in the wireless world, but I love my wireless mouse, and now I got to give the headset a try, right? I mean, it only makes sense, right, Avril?
Yeah, pretty sure. You know, I got the Orbit here as well. The kind of the little fancy one I use. I typically would use that one if I'm not casting. And, you know, oh, by the way, the red does make you go faster. So if you want to listen to things very quickly.
It's true.
There you go. Boom. Done.
It really is nice. I'm not going to lie. It's this high quality product here, friends. So make sure you take a look at HyperX. And, well, tomorrow, you're not going to want to miss the action because it's going to be just as good, if not potentially better. We'll be starting once again at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern time with the upper bracket finals right here on the main stream. So if you're not already following, what are you doing? Hit the follow button on your way out. Make sure you get that notification by kind of hitting that little bell thing that's right there so you're ready to go through it. But the B stream's still going on, so there's still more Valorant action. But for tonight, Avril and I will say farewell. Until the next time, hope you guys keep holding it down.